So one of the big things that I've had to learn in my journey so far identifies the real issues that I'm dealing with. You know, there were some that were obvious up front to anybody that really knew me. But then there were some that were kind of hidden below the surface that were maybe the root cause of some of my other issues. And one of those root cause issues I was having was anger and resentment. As I matured and some things became apparent to me, talking with, some people in a group, talking with some people outside the group, reading Bible, reading some religious or Christian-based books, non-fiction books that I've been reading. I've discovered that, and not a real shocker, that when you realize that when you are the one that makes the decisions for yourself, you really don't have the right to resent anybody else for doing things to you when you were the root cause of the situation to even make that a possibility. When I came to terms with the fact that a lot of the wrongs I felt in my life, that I felt that people had wronged me, when you wake up and not literally wake up, but when you mentally and emotionally and spiritually wake up and you realize that the majority of these resentments and grudges that you've been hanging on to are not because of something somebody else did to you. It's a direct reaction of what you did to them. Can you expect, how could I expect someone to forgive me, and how could I expect to truly make amends to anybody if I was holding grudges against them for defensive reactions for the way that I've wronged them, that I've had to learn in my journey so far is identifying the real issues that I'm dealing with. There were some that were obvious up front to anybody that really knew me. But then there were some that were kind of hidden below the surface that were maybe the root cause of some of my other issues. And one of those root cause issues I was having was anger and resentment. As I matured and some things became apparent to me through talking with some people in a group, talking with some people outside the group, reading Bible, reading some religious or Christian-based books, non-fiction books that I've been reading. I've discovered that, and not a real shocker, that when you realize that when you are the one that makes the decisions for yourself, you really don't have the right to resent anybody else for doing things to you when you were the root cause of the situation to even make that a possibility. And when I came to terms with the fact that a lot of the wrongs I felt in my life, that I felt that people had wronged me, they were just reacting to how I treated them. And making amends is a big part of truly recovering and moving past a lot of the issues that I have. And so I've had to, before I could even begin to try to make amends, truly make amends, is I've had to let go of so many things that I've been holding on to, of real or perceived wrongs by other people, and I've just had let a lot of things go, and in doing so, it's completely changed how I deal with a lot of things that used to bother me so much. And you know, my wife would attest that, you know, she would probably dread me coming home from work, not because she didn't want me home, because she didn't want to hear me go on and on about and all the negative about work. And you know, now she actually has to like pry information out of me about work, because I don't let it get to me. I don't let other people's actions dictate my mood anymore. And you know, that's a big thing for me, to let go of a lot of the resentments, because I'm a very, very stubborn man. That hasn't changed. So for me to be able to just let a lot of things go, and move on, and you know, just basically allow what happened to be what happened, and come to terms with the fact that a lot of the outside negative in my life has been directly caused by my own negative lifestyle, my own immoral lifestyle, my own ungodly lifestyle has been a cause of so many of my issues. And as I let those things fall off, and I remove those things from my life, I realize that a lot of those issues kind of fall away, and a lot of those resentments fall away, and a lot of the anger falls away. A lot of my issues with self-esteem fall away. A lot of my issues with confidence fall away. A lot of my issues with trusting people fall away. A lot of my issues with correctly interacting with people fall away. A lot of my issues with how I talk to people on a daily basis fall away. And you know, letting go of resentment and dealing with the resentment that I carried for so long, I realized that the only person that I was hurting in that was myself. The people I resented or held grudges against or had anger towards, they were completely unaffected by the issues that I was carrying. And when I realized that and was able to let them go and, you know, give those over to God, and I realized that it's not my place to judge other people. I can't judge somebody just because their sin is different than mine. And I got my own sins to deal with, and I'm not going to pretend to try to deal with somebody else's sins. And when I started to let those things go, it opened so many more doors. In a way, it uncovered some other things that I realized I had to deal with, and in another way, it removed some things from my life that I no longer had to deal with. And as I go through this process, I'm finding that a lot, where along the way, by going after the problem or the issue that I'm trying to deal with in the moment, by removing that issue from my life, it's, sometimes that issue just goes away and then I move on to the next thing. Sometimes that issue uncovers other things that I have to deal with. But each and every step of the way, I feel that I'm a better person, for it. And you know, when I go about it the right way, when I do it in a Christ-centered way, I realize that the benefits that come out on the other side, and even if it uncovers something that's not so pleasant, because I'm going along this journey, you know, with God, with other people of God, it makes it easier. It makes it stick. I have faith in it, and my faith grows each and every little victory along the way. I have a long way to go, but I've come a long way too, and